Now we'll use a pen tool to create a logo for our robot. If you're following along, I'm in 13_pen.fla in the Chapter 3 folder in the Exercise Files folder. Let's create a layer for our logo. We'll create that layer above the robot layer. So I'm going to select the robot layer at the top of the screen, and then click the Insert Layer button to create a new layer. Then I'm going to double-click the name of the layer and change the layer name to Logo. With the logo layer selected, I'm going to click the Zoom tool in the toolbar. Remember, the keyboard shortcut is Z. Now we'll zoom in on the robot's chest. So I'm going to click and drag an area around the top half of the robot's body to zoom in. Now let's choose the pen tool in the toolbar, and we'll use the pen tool to create our logo. The keyboard shortcut for the pen tool is P. The logo that we're going to create is an R. R for robot. When you use the pen tool, you create anchor points. We'll talk more about anchor points as we create them. I'm going to click about halfway between the top of the robot's body and the bottom of the stage to create the first anchor point. One use of the pen tool is to create straight lines, and you can do that once you've created an anchor point by clicking anywhere else. I'm going to click near the top of the robot's body to create a straight line. So you can see that the first anchor point that I created and the second anchor point I created by clicking are connected now. Another use of the pen tool is to create curved lines. Creating curved lines really gives you access to all the power of the pen tool. The pen tool can create curved lines by creating something called Bezier or Bezier curves. I'm going to create my Bezier curve by clicking to the right of the last anchor point I created and down a little bit. I'm going to click and drag. I'm dragging my mouse down, and you can see the curve being created. And so we're starting to create this R shape. And as you click and drag different directions, you can see how the curve works. I'm going to click and drag straight down so it looks like the top half of an R. And that looks good. So I'm going to create the next point and curve. So I want to create a capital R. So I'm going down and to the left of the last anchor point I created. I'm going to click and hold my mouse down and create this curve. And we're making an inside corner here, so just click and drag until you like that inside corner, and release the mouse button. And now I'm going to go back to drawing straight lines. So I'm going to click at the same vertical position of my first anchor point and down a little bit. And now we're starting to create this R shape. Then I'm going to click to the left a little bit to create another anchor point. Then up and to the left a little bit. And then straight down. And then I'm going to hover over the first anchor point that I created, and I want to connect the shape. And I know that I'm going to connect the shape when I hover over the first anchor point I created, and I see a circle next to the pen tool icon. So I'm going to click right there, and I've created a complete shape. And now what I'm going to do is use the selection tool and deselect the shape on the stage by clicking away from the shape. And so there's the R for our robot logo. And now we need to create a cutout area in the inside of the R. So let's go back to the pen tool. And if you clicked on the background, you may have selected the background layer. So go back to the logo layer and select it by clicking on the logo layer at the top of the screen. Then we'll draw the inside of our logo by creating a D shape. I'm going to be clicking inside of the R towards the top left of the R. So I'm going to click in the top left and the inside of the R to create an anchor point. And then I'm going to go towards the right edge, but still inside of the R. I'm going to click and drag to create another anchor point. And then I'm going to click the first anchor point again and make sure that you see a circle by your pen tool icon, indicating you're going to close the shape. So I'll click there again to create the D shape. And now we've created our R logo. And now what I'm going to do is select the selection tool, and that will deselect the artwork I just created. And then I'm going to choose the paint bucket tool. And now I want to fill this R with the same color I used in the robot's eyes. So I'm going to press Command minus, that's Control minus on the PC, to zoom out a little bit. And then I'm going to scroll up a little bit by scrolling up on the right side of the stage. And then in the Property Inspector, I'm going to click the Fill Color Picker to open up the Color Picker window. I'm going to hover my mouse over the robot's eye. I'm going to click to capture that color. And then I'm going to put my cursor inside of the R and click to fill the R with that yellow color. So now we've created our robot logo, and that's a look at how to use the pen tool.